but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe clear theory destabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. He used to believe in something, what happened? Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. A Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. He's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly? It's not a Gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not Gnostic, James. Mary Nardini tells us queer liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. To believe in something, what happens for liberty? Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. The Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. He's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly?
You guys are not going to believe the night I've had. And listen, this might be a little bit of an inside baseball stream, and it's going to be an inside baseball stream because it's one of those things that, like, some of you might not know about some of this stuff. If you watched last night's, actually, you know what? Listen, man, I'll tell you this. Sometimes these serendipitous things happen where, you know, I wasn't really sure I wanted to do that stream last night. I knew Big Tech wouldn't respond to it. I knew that he was going to continue to be the whiny, cryy 5-year-old that he is and not be an adult. And it really was not, it was less about him than it was about me. Significantly less about him than it was about me. Although he thinks differently. Big Tech was whining about me on his stream today for like at least 2 hours. He reverted to full on like feasing about me and like, you know, all this stuff. And it's just like, it's a really sad, pathetic thing to see because really he'd be very good looking if he wasn't such a whiny little bitch. But like, I don't even find him good looking anymore. Does that like, it's like, side note, I don't even find him good looking anymore. And he wasn't actually really my type like that much in the first place, which, you know, whatever. But like, I can objectively look at someone and say, okay, he's like pretty good looking, right? And I just don't even find him good looking anymore because Why would I? Why would you want a 40-year-old man-child? Anyway, that's not the subject of this stream, although he'll now think this entire stream was about him. Hey, Swifty. Guys, we are forming an unholy alliance with the Groypers. Check this out. Before I get too far into things, check this out. We are forming an unholy alliance with the Groypers. And I feel like the Groypers are kind of signing off on this in the way that they do. Because I've had enough of James Lindsay's bullshit. After today, I've had enough of James Lindsay's bullshit. And I tweeted, Groypers, we have a common enemy. Shall we go into battle together? He's a gatekeeper and an atheist. His defeat will help all of us. No mercy, no surrender, full frontal assault with this meme. And, you know, a fair amount, like a whole bunch of Groypers did respond to it and seemed to, yeah, green lit. The unholy alliance is in effect. It's the Comrades and the Groypers, and we are going in together. Let's go! This is happening. And you know what makes this even better? Is that James knows it's happening. James has already been informed of the unholy alliance. And you know what? Listen, I might not have the biggest audience in the world, but my audience are scrappy and they don't give a F. And they've been going after leftists for years. And we've been going undercover at leftist trainings for years. And we've been dealing with leftist and communist bullshit for years. And now we've had it with him. And I don't care how many of the accounts he blocks. We're just going to make more accounts. Good fucking luck, James. Good luck. So on one side, we have the Comrades. And he's pissed us off something good. And on the other side, we have one of the most engaged audiences on the internet. We have in our corner the best trolls on the internet. We have the community that will muck up your replies something good. And guess what? Nick Fuentes hates James Lindsay just as much as I do. We have a common enemy. And so this is an alliance that just makes sense. And James hates the Groypers and the Groypers hate him. And I feel like this is just, you know, it's fate. We've all come together in this moment to defeat the enemy. Because although the Comrades and the Groypers may disagree on some things, where we do agree is that the conservative right is the biggest obstacle that is standing in all of our way to getting what we want. And James is a shill of the conservative right. And so, the unholy alliance is in effect. The war is on. And this time, you know, we gave James a little bit of a break. After James did that whole Twitter thread where he basically admitted I was right all along, but didn't actually say it and doesn't actually understand abolish the family at all. But after James did that whole Twitter thread where he admitted I was right, we took a little bit of a break. I was covering Nick Arcata. I was doing some other stuff. I had AFPAC to go to. But with James Lindsay today, overtly canceling me and doing it in public. Can you imagine someone that pretends to be against woke culture literally saying someone should not get credit for their work because I don't like her? And not to be bent the knee entirely? Listen, man, I'll lose the credit entirely in that article. It probably wasn't going to get me much of anything anyway. To expose this bullshit, like, I'm sorry. James thinks that he got one over on me. James thinks he got a victory on me today because Not the Bee pulled the link with the proper credit out of their article. He thinks he won. No, James, you're so fucking stupid. I won. Because all I had to do was sacrifice one link in one article of people who are probably not smart enough to understand my content anyway. I had to sacrifice one link to expose you. To expose you in public, to expose Not the Bee in public. Money well spent, bro. You gave me a gift you can't buy with money. You gave me a gift today, James, that only happens when you fuck up. So this is happening today. But that's not what I want to talk about. That's not what I want to talk about. What I was actually talking about in terms of like sometimes fate comes in and the stars align and like all of this stuff comes together is last night when I did the stream about the cancellation that I experienced at the hands of Carrie Smith and Mike Harlow and Deb Philman and Kieran White, the 2-year harassment campaign that I was the target of. I did that whole stream laying it out last night. Now I was, and we'll talk about it some today. And if people don't know what I'm talking about, sit tight because we'll go through some of it. But when I laid it out last night, I was doing it more to explain why I chose to like drop the DMs on Big Tech's fucking massive bald head. Why I chose to drop the DMs on his bald fucking head. And I wanted to put it in context there, but it's one of those things where just fate intervened. And someone reached out to me last night. Someone reached out to me last night that was involved with the behind the scenes planning of my harassment in that mob. Someone reached out to me and said, "Carlin, I need to talk to you because I know what they did to you because I was involved in it. And you didn't deserve it, and you deserve to know what happened." And so I just spent the last couple hours this evening while Big Tech was whining and crying on his, channel about me on some other platform that doesn't really matter. Well, he was whining and crying and reading DMs and, putting on a little show because he didn't want to respond to the stream I did yesterday. Didn't even bother to look at it like a, good, intelligent human being would. Well, he was doing that. I spent 2 hours talking to this person. And again, I don't know how many people were here. Oh, Dan. Dan? Seriously. I'm glad you're here, Dan. I don't know how many people were here when the 2-year harassment campaign was going on that basically started at the end of 2021 and went all the way up through 2022 through 2023. I mean, well, actually, no. Well, Carrie started harassing me at the end of 2020. Kieran started harassing me at the end of 2021. It lasted all the way through 2022. And then it was part of the way into 2023 as well. And really kind of like the last 6 months or so, it's been pretty quiet, although they're all spun up now. They're spun up because of the big tech stuff, and they're about to get really spun up because we're about to start Carrie Wars Part 2. We can have wars on multiple fronts, okay? Because I don't give an F. Because, like, one of the things that happens when you get canceled so badly on the internet and mobbed so badly and gang stalked for 2 years of your life and harassed to within an inch of your sanity is that you come out on the other side of it and nothing phases you anymore. Nothing phases you. Oh, well, Jenny. Apparently, they had entire systems. It's not just Deb. They had entire systems set in place, multiple chats on Telegram, monitoring every single thing I said, every single tweet I sent, every single video I did. They had people watching me all the time, and this was all coordinated via Telegram groups. That's just like the tip of the iceberg of what I got tonight. And I can't tell you all of it. And I definitely need to protect the identity of the person who can. And by the way, this is not even the first person who's come to talk to me about this. This is the third person who's come to talk to me about this. But this is the first person I've talked to 3 different people that were involved in the mobbing campaign, but this is the one that I had the most in-depth conversation with. I didn't have in-depth conversations with the other 2. They kind of apologized, and they said that they knew it was wrong, and they said that, they wanted to, like, clear their conscience, and that's fine. Um, and I don't hold ill will towards any of these people. But the validation I got tonight, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going crazy. In the middle of this, I thought I was going crazy. When all this was happening, I thought I was going crazy. And now I know that I wasn't. And now I know for sure that everything that I thought happened, happened. And everything that I said when people were accusing me of being paranoid, or they were accusing me of being delusional, they're accusing me of making stuff up. Single thing that I thought happened, happened. And not only that, it was actually much worse than I thought. The depths that these people went to, and specifically Kieran. Kieran is the most obsessed over me. Although Mike Harlow seems to be a close second, or maybe if it's even Deb. Deb is actually probably more than Mike Harlow. It's like the order of obsession is actually the opposite of what I thought it was. The order of obsession with me seems to be Kieran, Mike Harlow, Deb, and those 2 are very close together. And then Carrie Smith kind of like less, but she's still involved. But that wasn't even the main person that they were talking about tonight. Kieran is obsessed with me, and I shouldn't even be talking about him, but, like, I have to. There's no fucking way I can't talk about him. Kieran is obsessed with me to a psychotic degree. And every single thing that I said about Kieran being a narcissist was confirmed to me by the conversations that this person had, in which he exhibited the same narcissist behaviors with this person that I was saying he was doing to me. So, I absolutely feel validated in my claim that Kieran is a narcissist, and the reason that he started all this is because I rejected him. I rejected him. And not only did I reject him, but I took away everything that he felt entitled to, even though it was basically my work. And because of that, he started a years-long harassment campaign against me, in which, and I will talk more about this in private, but I'm not going to do it in public, but I will say this. Kieran's goal was to get me to kill myself. That's not a joke. This is something he discussed. The goal was to eliminate me entirely. That was like that was what he wanted. They F with the wrong people, no mercy shall be given. Yeah, no more fucking mercy. No more mercy. So I literally for 2 years survived a gang stalking that was happening every single day of my life, to which I have been horribly smeared by millions of people. Not by millions, 2 millions of people. My name was dragged through the mud. They had a whole harassment campaign set up against me where they slid it they were the ones that turned James Lindsay against me. They were the ones that turned Benjamin Boyce against me. I never had a bad relationship with Benjamin Boyce, but they turned him against me. They actually, one of their stated goals, and Deb Philman is the one that did this. One of their stated goals was to permanently turn James Lindsay against me. And this was around the time he stopped sharing my content. And what happened was Deb Philman got into contact with James Lindsay through another source in which Deb Philman ended up getting his ear and spread all these lies about how I am a horrible narcissistic abuser and all of these things. And James Lindsay bought it completely, apparently. Bought it completely. So, and this is something there, and they tried to do this with Dan. Like, I've told you guys over and over again, I've told you guys that other activists would tell me that if they had anything to do with me, Deb Philman would slide into their DMs or someone else would slide into their DMs saying, if you don't denounce Carlin, we are going to cancel you. And this has happened to multiple people. Multiple people have told me this over years. If you don't denounce her publicly, we will stop working with, we will cancel you. We will call you a pedophile. We will make it impossible for you to exist. This is coming from them. And Dan is one of the people, and listen, they turned a lot of people against me, but they didn't turn everyone against me. Dan is one of the people who saw through the bullshit. And what happened when Dan refused to publicly denounce me is that Deb said that she was going to call him a pedophile and a pedophile enabler, and she was going to cancel him to everyone. And we have the DMs because Dan sent them to me. So every once in a while, people would see through the bullshit, and they would actually just contact me and be like, Carlin, just FYI, this is happening. Which, by the way, guys, if someone ever reaches out to you just like with no warning and is like, you can't work with this person or this person's mentally unstable or any of that, you should always probably ask the question, why? Or go to that person directly and judge based on your own experience with that person. Brooklyn, it gets so much worse. Okay, so I talked about this last night, but this started when Kieran. So there are four main characters in this affair, and then there are a couple side characters. The four main characters in this affair are Carrie Smith, because she started harassing me first, Mike Harlow, who is Carrie Smith's best friend, Kieran White, who is a person that I used to have a working relationship with, that fell in love with me, that confessed he was in love with me, that then, when I tried to mitigate the situation, lost his ever-loving mind and became obsessed with destroying me to the extent that his literal goal was to basically get me to kill myself because I rejected him. I told him no. And then Deb Philman, who is Kieran's best friend. And then we have some peripheral characters that I'll talk about. So what happened and what I told you guys last night is that, so the whole incident with Kieran where he confessed he loved me like 3 weeks before I was supposed to go to London, and then I was trying to mitigate the situation and Kieran didn't like it, and then so Kieran basically had a psychotic break on a Zoom call with me where he just snapped right in front of me, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he then went radio silent. And yo, this is true. This is true. I really do, because it's that level. This is a Lifetime movie level of gang stalking that I have had to deal with, and I didn't even realize the extent of it. So Kieran had told me he loved me. I said that I really cared about him, but I wasn't going to leave my husband for him. he has a narcissistic break right in front of me because he is a narcissist. I'm now 100% sure of that. And then he went radio silent for 3 weeks leading up to my trip to London. And I still went to London and I had a great time and I went out to all these museums and I did all this stuff. I talked about this all last night. And Kieran wanted to prevent me from coming to London entirely because he thought he doesn't understand that, like, airline tickets and hotels are like non-refundable after a certain point, and it just what it was. So he wanted me to cancel the trip entirely. I wasn't even apparently allowed to be on the same continent as he is. But while I was in London, Kieran started coordinating with 3 other members of my community. Deb Philman, who we've already talked about, and then 2 of the side characters, Adrian and Justice. So it was Kieran, Deb Philman, Adrian, and Justice. And I had a couple weeks before this approached those people specifically about working on a project with me to build a platform to do training on how to fight back against the left, to do training on what the left is. And I wanted to have other people involved, and I wanted to have like articles and resources and all this stuff. And I approached these 3 people specifically, Kieran because I was already working with him on stuff, Deb and Justice because they were really engaged with my community at the time and they were doing good work, and Adrian as well. Adrian had been in my community for a while. And so I had approached them about, can we come together to try to build this project? And I had all these ideas for it. And this was a project that I had been working on for a year. This was a project I'd been concepting in my head for like a full year. And so they were all on board. And then this breakdown with Kieran happens, and I requested that Kieran be removed from the group chat. And then I went to London. And while I was in London, and I was just kind of checked out, I was on vacation basically. I wasn't paying attention. While I was in London, Kieran reached out to Deb, Justice, and Adrian privately. And the 4 of them basically decided that they were going to cut me out, completely steal my idea, and implement it on their own. And so what they did is they just created another group chat, and they basically just left the one that I was in dead. And I wasn't thinking about it because I was on vacation in London. It was a week before Thanksgiving, all this stuff. So then the 4 of them start reaching out to people. Do you want to come and work on this project with us? And then I came back from London, and I was honestly like really upset about the breakdown in my relationship with Kieran because he was a creative partner with me, and it was just like, it was really upsetting to me. And so I was kind of like, I was a little out of it for a while, mostly like for like, there was a lot of stuff going on. There were a lot of reasons for it, but I was just kind of like, whatever. I was not focused on the project, right? So then December happens, and I have like the Hitler went to heaven tweet that got me in so much trouble back in the day. And this is when they get in touch with Carrie and Mike Harlow. And now they're pulling these 2 into it. So now we basically got Kieran, Deb, Carrie Smith, Mike Harlow, and then you've got like, I guess, Adrian and Justice, and you've got some other people that I guess they're starting to rope into it. I'm not exactly sure when everyone came into the equation or when the person I spoke to specifically came into the equation, but like this is apparently a backstory that they were bragging about. So what would happen when they would bring new people into this group is they would openly talk about the fact that they were stealing my work and they were stealing my concept. And they were going to take my concept and they were going to build something called the Real Network. And the Real Network was going to be an educational platform about anti-woke stuff to help people do anti-woke to fight back against the left. They literally stole my entire concept. And they didn't hide it at all. And this is the thing that was like shocking. It was like they didn't hide it at all. They were completely overt about the fact, yeah, we stole this from Carlin. And no one seemed to fucking care, so fuck all of you, seriously. And then I started to get wind of this I started to kind of figure out what was going on, and I did a video in my locals, and maybe we'll even go back and watch that video tonight. Maybe we will. And it was called The Thieving Interlopers. And I basically I identified all the people involved. I didn't know Carrie and Mikey were involved at this point, but I identified Kieran, Deb, Justice, and Adrian were involved, and they were trying to steal my work, and they were trying to implement it on their own. And so I basically said to them in that video, "You assholes can go ahead and try, but you are never going to be able to implement like I can implement this. So now we're off to the races." And I said, anyone who wants to go and join Kieran and Deb's bullshit brigade can go and join that. Anyone that wants to stay here and do real stuff can do that, because at the same time, the four of them were emailing everyone in my community, trying to turn my entire community against me. Thank you, Jenny's getting inky with it. These are similar to Death Eaters. They play and play Draco Malfoy anytime they see someone has an interest in your work. Those who want to help you pick your friends are just seeking to control you. Oh, it gets even worse. The obsession that these people have with me is like real. So they were openly trying to steal my idea. And they were having, and by the way, their thing never launched. There was never any launch that took place. And I actually do have a platform. I have my Actively Unwoke platform. I was doing trainings all last year. I had a bunch of on-demand trainings. I've now kind of scaled back to what I'm doing to just focus on me, because it's honestly just easier than me coordinating with everything. I just want to be able to do stuff by myself, honestly. They would argue that they've turned everyone against me, but that's just not true. I just don't want to work with anyone because everyone sucks except for me. Anyway, so I had actually gotten my platform up, and I was doing trainings, and I was doing all this stuff. And they were having these regular meetings. They were having, apparently, I guess, weekly meetings in which they were trying to plan the real network, the anti-woke training platform that they had ripped off from me. And in their weekly meetings, they would spend a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes at the beginning of the meeting just talking about me and obsessing about me and going through my tweets and talking about my videos and planning little things that they were going to do to try to make my life miserable. They actually had weekly organized meetings around all of this. They had multiple Telegram channels set up where they gave me a nickname. Apparently I'm called Squeaky. They gave me a nickname. Bro. No. Wrong. No. That's not, I don't do anything like this to Tim Pool, bro. You need to hinge yourself back into reality. They had multiple Telegram channels set up just to monitor every single thing that I was saying and doing online so that they could find a way to use it against me. What else were they doing? Oh, do you guys remember when I, Hypocrite, did a massive hit piece on me? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? Did you seriously wait 5 minutes just to send this? See, this is probably from one of their people. This is what they do. They have these things where they coordinate bullshit like this. Either this person is a massive retard, or this is one of the people that they sent. Either way, we'll say goodbye to him. Goodbye. So do you guys remember when I, Hypocrite, did a massive hit piece on me based on all of Kieran's talking points? You're going to have to ask me. Listen, this is a video about me, okay? I am not answering this unless you send me money. I'm not answering this question right now. I talk about the left all the time. Like, I am focusing on me for a second. If you don't want to watch the video, you don't have to watch the video. You can go watch something else. But for right now, I am focusing on me. Yes, this is personal. Yes, exactly. If you don't want it, go somewhere else. Jesus Christ. So that hippie, bro, if you do this one more time, I'm banning you. Are you not listening to me? I am not talking about this right now. I am talking about something else right now. If you do not want to listen to what I'm talking about, you can either pay me money to ask me a question or you can leave. But if you do this one more time, I'm going to ban you. Jesus Christ. So you don't want help. Okay, goodbye. I swear to God, some of these people. No, I don't want help from people who can't shut the fuck up. I went through 2 years of goddamn hell because of this. And if I want to use my channel to work out some feelings to many people who were all, because my community that has been with me a long time, a lot of them were harassed by these same people. And so if you don't know what's going on and you're confused and you don't want to just listen to the story, then you can leave and go watch something else. But there are actually people that were affected by this in my community besides me, and I want to talk about it. We can do other stuff another day. So do you guys remember the massive hit piece that I Hypocrite did on me based entirely on Kieran's talking points? So apparently there was a watch party. There was a watch party with Carrie Smith and Mike Harlow and Deb Philman and Kieran White, and they were all sitting around Zoom drinking beers and celebrating the premiere of the I Hypocrite hit piece that they planted on me. And I Hypocrite, by the way, owes me a fucking apology for that. I'm sorry. I know that men in that movement don't like being told that they owe someone an apology when they fuck up. But that hit piece was always bullshit. It was always put together by Kieran. It was the smear campaign put together by Kieran that they planted. And they shopped this hit piece around everywhere. It was exactly the same hit piece that Katie Herzog used on me. They shopped this hit piece all over the media. And every time someone picked it up, and every time someone spread their bullshit, they celebrated. This was the strategy because they were trying to get me to kill myself. Occasionally, people might question if continuing to harass me was a good idea. And when anyone questioned if it was a good idea, well, I met him when I was in at AFPAC, and he seemed like a nice enough guy. But I'll be honest, knowing what I know now, and listen, I don't want to cause trouble. Like if like I, he and I we had a nice conversation at AFPAC, and that's all it is. But like knowing what I know now, the hit piece that he made on me, he was sold a bill of goods, and I said it at the time. I was screaming this at the time. That all of this was bullshit. I was screaming it at the top of my lungs, and everyone thought I was fucking crazy. And I know what the truth is. And now I have absolute confirmation that these people were coordinating literally every single day, obsessing about me every single day in order to plant hit pieces and cause problems exactly like what I Hypocrite bought into. And so it's kind of one of those things where I kind of feel like I'm owed an apology, to be honest. Like, Can you really imagine being the type of person that all you think about all day, every day is destroying someone? That all you think about all day, every day is harassing a person online to the point where you want to drive them to kill themselves? And like, I got to tell you, like, hearing it that overtly, I hypocrite tilts at windmills as far as I can tell. Him and Brittany Venti went nuts about VTubers a while back, and Venti might have caught a defamation suit from it. Yeah. I really am in shock, Sin. I really am in shock. I'm very much in shock. Kieran apparently displayed all the narcissist traits behind the scenes that I thought he did. What else happened? Oh, what I was saying. So if anyone in their groups like that they had kind of like brought into it. So first off, they basically had support groups where you were only allowed to be in the groups where they were plotting against me all day every day if you had been a victim of me. Where if I had ever said something with a tone to someone on Twitter, they were considered to be a victim of me. If I had blocked someone on Twitter, they were considered to be a victim of me, and they were added to these groups where all they did all day every day was obsess about me. That behavior is mental illness I will never understand. Even if I hated someone, behaving like that requires dedication and energy. Imagine doing that instead of something beneficial. Yeah, and this is what I kept saying. It's like, it was always mind-boggling to me how literally I had to deal with this every single day of my life for 2 years. Kieran was tweeting about me every single day for years. All of them were, pretty much every single day. And I kept saying, I'm like, this is going to destroy you. You cannot form relation. And I was actually like, I feel like I was actually being pretty diplomatic. I was like, you can't form relationships with people around a shared hatred for someone that's going to destroy you. Those aren't even real relationships to begin with. But everyone that I'd ever looked at funny was a victim of me, according to them. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just finding out about this information. I don't really know everything, but the type of shit that they did to you is something that's been done to others and resulted in someone dying, and that's pure evil. These people are insane. Yeah, they're part of a cult. This is a cult obsession. It is psychotic. What else? So Deb Philman seems to be the person that was reaching out to the most people to try to turn them against me. Oh, I keep trying to tell this story. So like every time someone like spoke up in their group about like maybe we shouldn't be harassing Carlin so much, Deb Philman seemed to be like the enforcer, where like if you dared to even insinuate that maybe this, maybe we pull back and actually, because there were people involved in this. You guys understand, there were people that were roped into this that actually wanted to build the platform that they had stolen from me. So there were people that were roped into this with like good intentions that and even though they would know they stole the platform from me, and I'm and they never actually executed it, so I guess I shouldn't worry about it now. But like there were people who actually wanted to do that, and what they found was a group of people that was obsessed with me, that made everything about me, and that weren't actually doing the things that they said that they were going to do. And so Anytime someone would speak up and be like, "Can we kinda do the thing that you said we were gonna do?" They would catch a tongue lashing from Deb to put them right back into line. No, the goal was to destroy me. That was the only goal. What made the person you spoke to realize that what they did was wrong? I think he always knew it was wrong. I think they always I mean, I've spoken to, like, 3 different men about this. I shouldn't reveal gender, but I really have. Like, I've all that and this is the thing I've heard from all of them that I've talked to. It's like, they all said to me that they knew it was wrong when it was happening. Apparently, the women don't defect, but the men do, and that really tells you something. That really tells you something. The women don't defect, or at least they don't come and talk to me after they do, but the men do. Then why do they continue to do it? Because they're threatened. Because they threaten them. And especially if you're an activist in the space and you're involved in this little terrorism group, and they say to you, if you stop, we will cancel you, we will destroy you. Like I said, I have multiple people who have said to me that Deb has gone into their DMs and are and demand that they denounce me publicly, and when they don't, Deb loses her shit. So they're scared. I know you're saying question for the chat, and I'll let the chat answer too. You can interrupt me with questions, I don't mind. Is Deb the person who was super friendly ages ago and would donate and be friendly to Carlin and chat, or is that another person? Yeah, Deb was one of the people. I don't know that Deb was ever super friendly, though. So, Deb was one of the people that so what happened was they had a specific plan to target James Lindsay to turn him against me. And so I wasn't actively trying to build any sort of relationship with James. I would just kind of send him tweets every once in a while, and I was mostly focused on my own stuff, and I was barely even paying attention to what he was saying and doing. And so, like, it's one of those things that maybe if I had been actively trying to build a relationship with him, maybe this would be different now. But because I wasn't, Deb was able to make contact with someone who knew James and was working with James. And so then Deb got into James's ear and started spilling all this stuff about me and lying about me. And I strongly doubt Deb ever threatened James, but like, because she didn't really have that power over him. Like, he's much bigger than her. But James, for some stupid reason, bought into all of it. And that is why James stopped sharing my work. That's why. That's and for yeah, and people always came and asked me, and I was always like, I would always send James stuff, and again, like always tried to be judicious. I didn't invade his inbox or anything. I never said anything bad about him in public. I covered for him all the goddamn time. When he was having problems with people that I knew, I would cover for him. I'd try to smooth things over, like whatever. Every time someone came complaining to me about James, I would be like, I just leave him alone. Don't just ignore it. Like whatever. I covered for him all the fucking time. And now I know that while I was doing that, Deb was in his ear talking shit about me for years. And so people always used to ask me, why don't you work with James Lindsay? Why don't you work with James Lindsay? Why don't you work with James Lindsay? Because James refused to work with me. And it's the same with Benjamin Boyce. They did the same thing to Benjamin Boyce. Someone, it was probably actually Kieran in this case, because I did introduce Kieran to Benjamin Boyce. It was probably Kieran sliding into Benjamin Boyce's DMs, lying about me, saying she's abusive, she did this, she did that. Apparently Kieran has told people that I tried to have sex with him in London. I didn't even see Kieran in London. I literally didn't even see him in London. How the fuck could I try to have sex with him? I didn't even see him in London. But no, I was abusive. I was a groomer. I'm a narcissist. Mike Harlow apparently was spreading all this shit around about me as well. Mike Harlow would, like, basically call people and talk about how Mike Harlow said that I was sending him abusive text messages all the time, which apparently he doesn't have any receipts of, but he just claimed I was overbearing, I was narcissistic, I was sending him abusive text messages all the time, no evidence, of course, and they're running around telling everyone I'm a narcissist, I have borderline personality disorder, all this stuff. This all came from the same group of people. This is one of the things I said from the very beginning. Everyone that has ever come at me online, everyone that has ever called me a narcissist, anyone that I know they slid into the Quartering's DMs. They turned him against me. I never even spoken to the Quartering. I can't even imagine the number of people that they've turned against me because of this bullshit. Everything always linked back to the same core group of people. Everything. Kieran was absolutely the person who doxed Aaron. I know that, and I knew that anyway because it was like Kieran was the only one involved in that had the MO to do it. Kieran was the only one who had the patience to go through 15 years of my social media history to find random tweets that I made about it. But yeah, Kieran has been able to amass an army of people to do this for him. And like I have to think that army is now diminished quite a bit, but at the time there were a lot of them. There were a ton of them. Do these people have anything to do with what went down with the Mises Caucus? Well, yes, actually. Yes, because there are many people in the LPNH who connected with Kieran. Kieran proactively reached out to people in the LPNH about me. They're following Kieran now. If we go and look at Kieran's followers on Twitter, we're going to see LP. Actually, why don't we just fucking do it? Why don't we just fucking go look at Kieran's followers on Twitter? Hang on. Why don't we do this live? Let's just see. Let's just see. Oh, look at one of the new followers of Kieran. Oh my word. Oh, I know we're so shocked to see Big Tech is following Kieran. I know Big Tech is about to start obsessing about me the same degree that Kieran's obsessed with me. Like, bro, Mike, you might not like me, you might hate me, but I really hope you know what you're getting yourself into because the things I heard tonight, I never understood. I'm being deadly serious right now, dude. I never understood the depth of Kieran's psychotic obsession with me until tonight. And I really, really hope that you can follow his lead if you want. You can take all his bullshit if you want. It won't mean a thing to me. I've already outlasted all of this by like several times over. It will have no impact on me at all. But dude, you are starting to wrap yourself with a literal psychopath. And if you want to go down that road and you want to get dragged into his bullshit, I wish you the very best of luck. I really, really do. And just keep in mind, Mike, that Kieran today is streaming for about 3 people. Kieran has no audience. He has no allies except a Jewish woman that if you think I drive you crazy, you wait till you meet this woman. He has no friends. And I am absolutely convinced that he's a narcissistic psychopath. And Mike, I know you know a thing or two about narcissism. And he's going to love you, bro. He's going to love you. So you go down that road if you want. But if you do, you're going to end up in the same place as he is. That would be a real shame if it really god damn, I really hope he doesn't do that. I really hope he doesn't do that. Let's see who else is following Kieran. Let me know if you guys recognize any of these people. Oh, LPNH. He's LPNH. That's one of the knitting women that harasses me on Twitter. She was involved in the Chrissy Mayer stuff. I blocked her over that. She's involved with Chrissy Mayer. I actually like this is a shame. I actually think she's a nice person, but like I've never had anything to do with her, but like I think she's a nice person. All right, let's see. Mike Harlow, Carrie Smith, Deb Philman. Look at that. Mike Harlow, Carrie Smith, Deb Philman, Adam Krigler, Adam Coleman, Chrissy Mayer, Christina Pushaw, Benjamin Boyce. You know, Olivia's actually always been nice to me, and so I don't actually think Olivia's involved in any of this. I hope she's not because she's always been very nice to me. I just saw Patriot J this just the other week. I feel like black conservatives are like a lot harder to drag into this stuff. This is a psychopath. This woman like literally has been committed to an insane asylum before. I know I'm cool with Buck Angel, but there was a time I wasn't. Buck Angel was one of the people they turned against me. Yeah, Benjamin Boyce won't like he hates me because of this. This is one of the people that stalks me on Twitter. There's Poetry Painter. This is a libertarian. This was a Mises Caucus Katie Herzog. Katie Herzog literally follows Kieran. Who did one of the hit pieces on me? Katie Herzog. Megan Fox. We already talked about her. She was with Gays Against Groomers. She actually turned against me way before I even went against Gays Against Groomers. God, I really really hope he doesn't get sucked into this. And again, not because it would impact me at all, because it would impact him. But whatever. He is going to do what he's going to do. Deb. Yeah, I've had beef with her. She's one of the people they turned against me, for sure. I never even spoke to her and she came at me. This is the they started a new stalker account about me. So Kieran is actually probably running this, to be honest. Like Kieran and this whole horde is actually probably running this because this is the stalker account that they created about me, and then it went away for a long time. They'd actually deactivated and now it's back. But no one's really following it. No one really cares anymore. That's all I can see for right now. Yep, these are the same people who actually just like I can actually show you like I mean, hang on. Let's go into surviving Carrie Smith and remind ourselves. So these are the people who harassed me so badly. Yo, I mean, it's actually funny. It's actually funny with him because he told me when we had that 4-hour call, he told me that he had already worked out all the karma in his life. And I was kind of like, I don't know that that's possible. But okay, fine. You want to tell me you've already worked out all your karma? Fine, like whatever. And then what happens? He does this thing to me, which absolutely brought him karma. And now you're absolutely right, Sin. He's running right for his karma. He gets involved with Kieran, he is running right for his karma. Kieran's a narcissist. He understands, like, Big Tech understands narcissists. Big Tech has had narcissists in his life before. And now he's running right towards his karma. Jesus Christ, this is fucked up. So this is the website that I created when things just got really bad with these 4 people specifically, and Carrie Smith was the person who started this all, so I made it Surviving Carrie Smith. But all 4 of them were involved in this. I don't see why all these people have a beef with you. You've been very active with your community and you engage with your audience more than most YouTubers do, because they are all convinced. No. Here's what it is. Hang on. I'll answer both questions at once. So anyone you ever had a political disagreement they snuck into the ear of, that's got to be so many people, because political disagreements are pretty damn normal, especially if you're a public figure. Any person that I ever disagreed with on Twitter, sliding into the DMs. They were monitoring every single tweet that I sent. They had a whole Telegram channel set up to monitor this. So they knew every single tweet I sent. They knew every single person I was interacting with. And if I had a disagreement with someone on Twitter, slide into the DMs. But no, they formed together as a group because they all hated me. Because Carrie was jealous that my platform was bigger than hers. Mike Harlow was jealous that my platform was bigger than hers, or his, rather. Deb Philman was pissed off because my community was more successful than hers. She was a member of my community, but she was trying to use my community to recruit people into hers. And Kieran was pissed off at me because he fell in love with me, and then I told him no, and then he had a narcissistic break right in front of me. So none of this was about anything other than jealousy and bitterness. And they all found each other and all started obsessing over me. Like, Carrie was obsessed with me. Carrie's been obsessed with me for a long ass time. Mike Harlow's Carrie's best friend. Kieran was obsessed with me. Deb Philman is Kieran's best friend. If Deb actually has any best friends, I guess. So that's what all this was about. Well, narcissists don't know how to love, but narcissists can use that. Or maybe he even, I think that Kieran is a lower level narcissist. I don't think he's like I don't think he's like, he's not a high functioning narcissist. I think that Kieran is like a victim narcissist. And so maybe he convinced himself he was. I don't know. We were spending a lot of time together. I don't know. I don't remember. So this is the website in which I documented Carrie Smith's entire campaign against me. If you go into like any of these articles, you're going to see all of the receipts, all of the tweets that Carrie sent about me, everything that Carrie's ever said about me online up between a certain point, because I documented all of this in one place. Where we really get into the stuff with Kieran, where this all started to and I'm just going back and I'm reminding myself now because I haven't thought about this in a while. I have not thought about it in a minute. This one. The Hitler went to heaven tweet. This was the old parody account. Kieran made this image. They're all talking about how obsessed I am with Carrie. They're calling me a psychopath. Look at this. I'll DM you. Hang on. Carrie says, she is the most dishonest, deranged, and sadistic person I've ever met. None of this surprise. Look at this. Hang on. No, none of this surprises me. It's not even the worst of it by a long shot. So you know how I said, oh yeah, hang on. Was the Kieran meltdown so okay. Carrie's bullshit with me started in December of 2020. I met Kieran in June of 2021. I had the falling out with Kieran in October of 20. Well, was it in June? I don't remember. May or June, something like that. May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, so it was so I had the falling out with Kieran in late October, early November of 2021. It was something like it was around that time. So it was around 6 months from the time I met him to the time we had the falling out. So when Kieran went psychotic, that's when he got in touch with Carrie. And so really the two of them teamed up starting in December of 2021. And that happened to be the same time that I had that viral tweet for saying Hitler went to heaven, by which I meant that there is no hell and therefore he has to go somewhere. And I believe everyone goes to heaven because God loves everyone. And so that's when they linked up and they started working together. Actually, I want to do something else. Hang on. I want to do something else. Do you guys feel like humoring me? Can we go back and watch a video that I made about the thieving interlopers? Content. Interloper. Hang on, sorry. Interloper. How weird. Did they take the video down? No. Did those assholes take the video down? Hang on, let me go back manually. Hang on, let me go back manually. Thank you, Angel Eyes, for gifting 5 memberships. I really appreciate it. Let's see who got one. Myriad, Sure, Daniel, Nicole, and Carol. Congratulations. They took it down. Oh my God. Is this it? I'm pretty sure that locals took down the original video I made about this. I bet you all of the money in my bank account that they reported me to locals for like bullying them or something. So the summary is that I basically called them out for stealing my stuff. So this is why I needed to leave locals. This right here, this is why I needed to leave locals, because locals was enabling this bullshit. Locals was allowing them to use locals platform in order to organize harassment against me to try to cancel my community. Seeing lots of new people here, that's a good thing, I guess so. Well, no, I suspect there's a lot of members of the fucking cancel horde watching. Yeah, locals can remove videos. Locals can do whatever they want. The video's no longer there. I can maybe look in the other. Hang on, let me just, I guess, check and see. But let me just search my posts. Interlopers. Nope, that didn't come up. I wonder. Well, that's not actually good. That's actually bad. Rumble sucks. And locals has not changed at all since Rumble bought it. Let me go back this way. So I really kind of stopped posting locals like a while ago, if I'm honest about it. But This might take a minute, but let me just go back into my old posts and find if I... Oh, this is going to take a minute. Yes, and you know what happened? Bro, Dave Rubin called me one day after these assholes that I'm talking about. Hang on, I'll show you. Hang on. Bro, I have Dave Rubin's phone number in my phone. I'm well aware of who fucking owns locals, even though I haven't talked to him in a long time and I don't really care to. But let me show you this. Let me show you this. Oh, here it is. This is when... Oh, you don't see what I see? Hang on. You don't see what I see? There it is. Oh, did he? So I don't have Dave Rubin's number anymore. Hey, that's fine. I don't really care. That's funny, though, if that's true. So what you see here is Carrie Smith posting publicly that I'm forming a hunting posse to come hunt her like Charles Manson. And apparently the person I talked to tonight said this is real. These people are so psychotic that they really and truly believe. The reason that they believe they need to form a harassment group in order to gang stalk me to the point where I literally kill myself, which again, the stated goal was the harassment will not end until that's what we're talking about. So these people got so psychotic about me and are still so psychotic about me today that they actually convinced themselves that I was using locals to coordinate a posse to hunt them, because all they think about is doing something that's going to result in my death. They literally convinced themselves that I was trying to hunt them when in fact they were the ones hunting me. And I know about this because I got a phone call from Dave Rubin one day saying, Carlin, are you using my platform to enact violence against people? And I said, no. And I don't think he believed me because they had mass reported me to locals. They had used this coordinated group effort to mass report me to locals, saying I was forming a hunting posse. And the reason I know it was them is because Carrie was tweeting about it. Carrie fucking tweeted about this. Look at this. By the way, James Lindsay today just said I was trying to Darvo him. Hang on, where is the actual... Okay, we'll go down to that. Hang on. You guys know how James Lindsay today tweeted that I was trying to Darvo him? He got that from Carrie. I promise you he got it from Carrie. Because Carrie talks about me Darvoing her all the time. This is Carrie responding to an account stalking me. This is Darvo. What is this person saying? Oh, she's talking about some live stream I'm doing. This is Darvo. She's been reading and stalking and harassing me for a year and a half. She has done countless videos on me, hundreds if not thousands of posts. If you acknowledge it, she uses it. Same tactics with her other targets. Mike, Kieran, Deb, Justice, Britt. I've lost count. Britt is a psychotic woman. Darvo is deny. It's something. Oh, what the fuck is Darvo stand for? I haven't thought about this in a while. Deny something, reverse victim offender. Deny attack, reverse victim offender. That's what it is. Thank you. Deny attack, reverse victim offender. So Carrie Smith has been running around for years saying, Carlin's darvoing me, Carlin's darvoing me, Carlin's darvoing me, Carlin's darvoing me, Carlin's darvoing me. I was just trying to get the bitch to shut up. And now guess who's saying Darvo today? James Lindsay, literally, about me. Because they are in James Lindsay's ear feeding him this stuff, and James Lindsay is so fucking stupid that he just laps it up with a spoon like a good little boy. This is Carrie talking about the hunting posse. I didn't watch tonight's video, but I did watch and report one from last week where she threatened physical violence against me. No, I didn't. After several people alerted me. She tried to fake cry in that one. I'm guessing she did the same tonight. She's Jessie Sommelier with less talent. So what Carrie is talking about is that I did a video where I challenged Carrie to a charity boxing match. A charity boxing match is consensual violence. No one has to participate in a charity boxing match. If you don't want to participate in a charity boxing match, you don't have to participate in a charity boxing match. But I said, Carrie, we obviously have some issues to work out. Why don't we raise money for charity and have a boxing match? Because I feel like that would be very therapeutic to me. I feel like engaging in a consensual form of violence where everyone agrees to it and everyone knows what's going on and consent papers are signed and waivers are signed and we're raising money to donate it to charity. I feel like that's just like a good idea all around. And so that's what that was. Carrie says I'm threatening her with physical violence. No, what I said was I wanted to challenge her to a charity boxing match. Fight Club for charity. Exactly. And then Carrie says, for anyone who was blessed to not see the video with the physical threat, she also named 8 other targets in it and got the response she wanted, which was offerings from her members to send bored hunters to do what? She's Charles Manson with a YouTube channel. Let's take a look at what Carrie's actually showing here. So Carrie and their stalking horde use their coordinated Telegram accounts to monitor every live stream I did on the internet, and they're watching the chat. Guys, they're watching you in the chat right now. For real. In real time. If you're in my chat right now, they are watching you. They are screenshotting things you say. They are making notes of who is supporting me and who is not supporting me. If you say anything that even resembles something they can use against me, they will use it. Does everyone want to say hi to the psychotic losers that obsess about me every single day that are absolutely watching us right now? Because I would bet you there are probably at least 5 or 6 people from that horde that are watching me right now, just for you guys. So they were doing this when I was doing my locals live stream, and Minnesota Lights chatted in, "Hey, brand new supporter here. Tell me where to send the cavalry. There are several 100,000 hunters here in Minnesota that are bored and looking for something to do." She was talking about hunting for documents. That's what she was talking about. Well, no. She is a supporter because the only people that could chat in on my locals were supporters. So she was, in fact, a supporter. But she was talking about hunting for the stream I was doing was about hunting for documents. It wasn't about hunting people. It was about hunting for documents. And Carrie took this, and their horde took this screenshot and then mass reported me to locals, telling Dave Rubin that I was using his platform to form a literal hunting posse. Can you believe that shit? That actually happened. Let's go back. I wanna look through some of the tweets Carrie sent when they linked up with Kieran. And I'm basically going back and reminding myself now. I'm doing my own research, guys. You are coming along for the ride. If I have questions that, or excuse me, if you have questions that I can answer, please let me know. Oh, I want to go. Oh yeah, so you can see here, like anytime anyone said something about me online, Carrie would like be in the replies going, "I'll DM you. Let's just talk privately. Let's just talk in DMs." Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? I mean, you got to know these guys are all in Kiwi farms. Like, the people that made that like, these are the people that coordinated that threat on me in Kiwi Farms. I promise you, all the same people. They all talk about how proud they are of their Kiwi Farms thread all the time. They direct people to the Kiwi Farms thread. They try to get people to go look at it to see what a horrible person I am. This is when they were sliding into Adam's DMs about me. Look at this. There's Adam, there's Carrie, there's some deleted tweet there. I don't know what it was. Never let yourself close to someone who believes that if they bully, harass, and stalk you or murder you, that you choose it. They'll justify every bit of their monstrous behavior that way. They'll say, it's not real life. So apparently, oh my God, I'm putting this together right now. Apparently, the Hitler went to heaven tweet where I was talking about how people come into this life wanting to have certain experiences. Apparently, it tweaked them so badly that they convince themselves that I have that belief so I can justify murdering people. Do you guys follow that? Basically, I said that people choose to have certain experiences in life, and sometimes people choose to have difficult experiences, and sometimes people choose to have like positive experiences, and that they make the choice about what experience they have. And Carrie took that and twisted it to mean that I believe that I can murder people because everyone chooses their experience. Do you guys know how fucked up that is? But that's what she's saying in this tweet. I didn't understand it at the time. That is literally what she's saying in this tweet. Wow. Do you look back now and see that there were warning signs? Yes, plenty. I talked to Carrie like less than 5 times in my life. Anyone who follows her for any amount of time can see them too. She participated in cancel culture. Oh, really? What are you guys doing? Sent an online mob after a hotel. Well, they fucking deserved it. Said it got her off. Supported deplatforming. These people have deplatformed me from multiple platforms and even threatened Tim Pool over it. I never threatened Tim Pool. I expressed an opinion about Tim Pool that Tim Pool disagreed with. Then she publicly attacked me after I privately unfriended her. A pattern for her as she regularly goes on the warpath against those she previously creepily pedestaled. So James Lindsay is literally using all of Carrie's recycled talking points against me. Holy shit. I hadn't looked at this since I finished this. The things that James Lindsay is saying about me today are the same things that Carrie Smith said about me in 2021. By the way, let's look at Carrie walking away quiet. I shouldn't have done that shit. I shouldn't have done that. Hang on, let me bring this up in a different window. Hang on. Let's look at Carrie walking away quietly from me. Let's remind ourselves what actually happened because Carrie says that a lot. She says, or she used to say all the time, that she walked away quietly from me. I want us just to remember us. Yeah, it is drama. If you don't want drama, go somewhere else. You don't have to be here. So I want us to remind ourselves how Carrie walked away quietly from me. Hang on. This is Carrie walking away quietly. So let's see. What did I say? This is in March 7th of 2021. This is when Carrie claimed she walked away from me quietly and privately, and Carrie didn't want any public nonsense. This is what happened. Carlin is the most dishonest, hypocritical, and manipulative narcissist I've ever had the displeasure of originally taking in good faith. Trying to quietly walk away from her led to weeks of attacks. Oh no, this is actually her saying she quietly walked away. Okay, so she's making the claim here that she quietly walked away. This is what I'm showing. These are repeated claims by Carrie that she quietly walked away from me. So this is what actually happened. Carrie, one day, I woke up the day after the election in 2020 and I was like, oh, what does Carrie think about all this? So I log on to her Twitter. She's blocked me. I was like, what the fuck? I had no idea. And so later in the day, I kind of started to suss out what happened. And apparently Carrie was pissed at me and I didn't know why. But I was like, whatever. And so I sent Carrie this text message. Carrie, I have to say I'm really grateful for people like you because you show me to always be cautious of the people I go out of my way for, to watch people's actions rather than the values they preach, especially when it comes to content creators, the most notoriously inauthentic of the bunch. I wish you the best because you woke me up, but I'm glad you showed me your true colors. And look what Carrie said. Exactly the same thing that she just tweeted about me. You are possibly the most inauthentic, unprincipled, untrustworthy narcissist. Blah, 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 blah. You did all this stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And I tweeted back and I said, yeah, none of that is true. I spread zero lies. I give two shits about attention. I can look at myself in the mirror and feel completely comfortable with my actions, and no amount of distortions that you try to place on me will change that. So then I blocked Carrie's number and I blocked Carrie on all the different platforms. And then this is Carrie's walking away quietly, because what I did was I tweeted this. In the same way that you should never give power to people who crave it, never assume people who strive to be famous are ever doing things for authentic reasons. Many of them are kind of nuts, honestly. And yeah, I'm totally weird, but I never strive to do this. Haha. I tweeted this on, look at this, November 4th, 2020. I had blocked Carrie on my account. I didn't even mention Carrie. Now, obviously, it was about her. It was a subtweet about her. I didn't even mention her. I was actually trying to walk away quietly. So this is Carrie's version of walking away quietly. You are the most, quite possibly the most inauthentic, unprincipled, untrustworthy narcissist I've ever met. I saw you spread filthy lies about Tim Pool and Lydia in DC. No, she didn't. That was Mike Harlow. To anyone who would listen, throwing your friend Adam under the bus. No, she didn't see that either. Also Mike Harlow. In the process, and betraying his trust. Mike Harlow is the one. So when I learned that Tim Pool was fucking Lydia, it was when Adam Krigler and Adam Krigler's wife was sitting in a hotel room with me and Mike Harlow in Philadelphia right before a walkaway rally that we had gotten Adam a speaking slot at. And so we were hanging out before the rally, and Adam told the whole sordid story of how Tim Pool fucked Lydia, and everyone in the house knew it. And I knew about this for years before I said anything. I literally knew about this for years. Mike Harlow was in exactly the same room with me at exactly the same time. And Mike Harlow was the one who fucking blabbed. But then Mike Harlow is Carrie Smith's best friend, so it can't be his fault. It has to be my fault. So then everything got blamed on me. Lydia was told it was me. Tim Pool was told it was me. Everyone was told that I was the one that spread this when it wasn't me. It was Mike Harlow fucking blabbing. Carrie fucking lied. And so that was really the first big thing that Carrie tried to use to turn everyone against me, is Carlin was lying and blah, 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 blah. I didn't even, if I had wanted to make money on the internet, what I would have done at the time, if I was blabbing already, was I would have made a video saying Tim Pool fucked Lydia and here's what happened. But I didn't do that for years. And the only reason I did it years later was I had had enough of people lying about me. And I was like, it's been 2 solid fucking years. I am sick of you people lying about me. If you want to run around saying that I'm the one that told this story, then guess what? I'm actually going to tell this story. So Carrie tweeted that, and then she started a whole thread about me. This is her walking away quietly on November 4th, 2020. I saw how you sacrificed your friend Mike Harlow in your quest to create drama with Tim Pool for attention. That didn't actually happen. In your hypocritical support for deplatforming cancel culture, but I saw all this stuff. I do not want to associate with anyone of your failing moral character and untrustworthiness any further than I already am. We do not have the same life goals or beliefs or principles. I'd say that's pretty true, Carrie. Good luck in life and Godspeed. Yes, I did not speak about this for a long time. I'm at peace now, having said it. There is no friend drama here. There's just drama I had hoped to avoid, but could not in good conscience any longer. Remember, I had texted Carrie privately. I tweeted about it with a subtweet that didn't even mention Carrie's name. And now Carrie's producing a whole fucking Twitter thread denouncing me and then goes around the internet saying, I tried to walk away quietly. I tried to walk away quietly. I tried to go away so quietly. And no one, and just, this monster, Carlin just came after me, but I didn't do, I just walked away quietly. I didn't do anything. Carlin is just a narcissistic monster and she just goes after everyone. This is Carrie walking away quietly. No worries. I don't care what other people choose to do truly or what opinions they hold. This was for my peace. Let's see. And then she posts again because I got wind of this and I posted. I was like, once an SJW, always an SJW. Isn't that right, Carrie? This is classic example of ironclad law of woke. I was using ironclad. Listen, man, I was using the term the ironclad law of woke projection back in 2020. Now we have proof of that. This is a classic example of the ironclad law of woke projection. I haven't been the one spreading anything because I know how to keep my mouth shut. Keep up the lies, Carrie, and watch what happens. Carrie starts another fucking post about me. Interesting. I thought I wasn't worth you creating or continuing drama for clicks like you've done with all those much larger followings, but I suppose someone telling the truth about your behavior is too much of a thorn in your side. Projection is a great word choice here. Carrie writes another fight. This is like a week later. This is a week and a half later of Carrie walking away quietly. Unfortunately, you never demonstrated an introspection necessary to use that word correctly. As for behaving like an SJW, that's exactly what your gleeful attempt at cancellation, with narcissistic, I had narcissistic delusions of grandeur about how many followers you'd be sending their way to blow them up. I meant blow up on social media. As in, go viral, and it fucking did, and they deserved it. Again, it's like, I'm not even going to read the whole thing. It's just like a whole other thread about me. And then she quote tweeted again. So she had already written, this is Carrie walking away quietly. She'd already written one thread about me. A week and a half later, she wrote another whole thread about me. Then she quote tweeted that thread and started in on another whole thread about me. This is the walking away quietly. Anyway, all this stuff was a year before they connected with Kieran. And so now we're back on the tweets a year later because the entire year was made up with Carrie posting bullshit about me on Twitter. The entire fucking year. Let's be real. Her career is charging people to watch demented attack videos. She teases with phrases like, get all the juicy gossip behind my paywall. Is my career about doing demented attack videos where I make people go behind a paywall for videos? Pop quiz for the chat. Is my career, do you guys often see me doing videos where I'm doing demented attack videos behind a paywall? Does anyone see that happening here? No, Carrie, I'm doing this out in the open for free. She'll continue to make money that way. Let her. There will always be a place for bullies and con artists in the online ecosystem. Let's see, what else? This is when they, I think, were the ones that were pushing, like, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that planted the hit piece on me in Newsweek, almost positive of that. Look, December of 2021, a year after Carrie walked away quietly. I tried unfriending her once. I saw what kind of person she was. She then started publicly attacking me and stalking me online. You don't simply unfriend a narcissist or sociopath. They won't let you leave without punishment. This was when Carrie turned another influencer against me. So basically, Carrie had turned this woman called Antihero Kate. Antihero Kate was a redneck bitch. I didn't like her at all. She thought she was smart. She wasn't smart, but Carrie had like turned her against me, and I didn't really care because I didn't really like her. Antihero Kate was pissed off. I swear to God, this is one of the campaigns they did against me. Holy shit. They said I was what did they say? They basically said I was shitting on poor people because I was poverty shaming. That's it. I have it right in the tweet. They said I was poverty shaming because I went to an art auction. Literally. I went to an art auction because several years ago, I bought my really big Create painting that I love, my Create astronaut painting. That is just like one of my prize. But I fucking love this painting. This painting. I paid like $8,000 for this painting, and this painting, just to pat myself on the back, I paid like $8,000 for this painting, and this painting has already appreciated to like I could probably sell this painting for at least $35,000 now. Not bragging, but I kind of am because that was a good goddamn investment. Art doesn't usually work out that way, by the way. Don't invest in art. It's a dumb idea. Just buy what you love. I'm just saying that the painting I bought several years ago for $8,000 is easily worth 4 or 5 times that amount today, and I'm really proud of myself for that. Anyway, so because I had bought this expensive painting, I got invited to an art auction, like a weekend where they took over this really swanky hotel in New Hampshire, and I got to go, and it was totally free, and everything was paid for, and it was open bar, and they brought in all this really expensive art, and I got to look at it, and I got to meet the artist, I got to meet Create. I bought another Create painting there, also that has appreciated in value since I bought it. And they were so pissed off, and I was tweeting pictures from this art auction. And they were so pissed off that I got to go do something cool for the weekend that they did this whole campaign about me on Twitter about how I was poverty shaming people because I went to an art auction. I swear to God, this actually happened. Yeah, anyone who has ever bought art is an awful person, apparently. Let's see, what else did they get in here? No, I unfriended her in October of 2020. Her abuse of me started then, including lying about me on multiple platforms. I ignored it for a while before finally feeling I needed to address it. I have never doxed her. Well, you have doxed my friends, Carrie, multiple times. So you can see here, Carrie would run around like saying that I was doing all these horrible things to her, but she would never provide receipts. This is part of the reason I provide receipts for everything, by the way. Oh, here's another thread about me. Check, and it's so you can see they picked a horrible, it's like always the worst freeze frame in the world. Narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths are not your allies or friends. They do not share common cause or principles with you. They do not behave the same. Yes, they are predators who try to take on the appearance of the prey they hunt. They wear masks of people they study. Sometimes their masks slip and you see a little bit of the real them, and you notice their words don't mean anything when their behavior contradicts their stated beliefs and blah, 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 blah. Watch this without sound. Carrie is literally telling people to watch videos of me without sound because she thinks I come across as more menacing that way, apparently. Why without sound? Because they don't want to hear what I'm actually saying. According to Carrie, I'm literally the most evil person on the internet. Look at this. I replied to thousands of people on Twitter. It would not shock me in the least if some of those are horrible people. The most evil person I know I've ever replied to is Carlin Borisico. Press 1 in the chat if I'm the most evil person you know on the internet. Press 2 in the chat if I am not the most evil person you know on the internet. Oh my god. Yeah, some might say that's slightly the but this is actually their mentality. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Everything I had confirmed for me tonight is the people that I said were stalking me for years, the people I said that were coordinated gang stalking me for years, everything I said was true. But they were even more obsessed with me than I ever thought they were, and now going back and seeing some of these old tweets, I'm like, they actually believe this. They actually believe this. How crazy. Yeah, James's new Socialism Sunday show seems strangely familiar. I'm gonna take a picture of that. Hang on. I'm gonna tweet this and be like, memories. Guys, mount the like button if you're enjoying this late night drama stream. I do appreciate you. Memories. So the reason my show is named The Cult is because Carrie started spreading around that I actually had a literal cult in like 2021. I don't doubt the members of her cult had great things to say about their cult leader. They pay their queen money to have their groveling and supplications acknowledged. I can everyone, so in honor of the 2 years of hell I had to endure at the hands of a literal gang stalking operation in which people were psychotically obsessing over me all day every day, can you guys send in some super chats to show your groveling and supplications to me? I'm just saying, if I really have a cult and people really do everything I say, I think I've earned some super chats. I mean, you don't have to, and if you can't afford it, I don't want you to or anything, but if you can afford to and you want to send me, that's okay, Sin. You're a senior citizen on a limited income. I understand. It's all right. But if anyone is not a senior citizen on a limited income, I will be accepting supplication. And this is where they met Kieran. Yeah, you're right, Trendle, and you already gave me a super chat today. That's fine. That's fine. All right, everyone's making excuses. See, here's how we're gonna know who is how many of Carrie's Twitter hoarder watching and how many are actually here because they're real people. All right, all right. So now Kieran has entered the fray, and Kieran is the most obsessed with me. And I told this whole story, and you can go find it. Yay! A supplication. Bot probably makes less money than all you guys. Where are the rest of my supplications? Nick, I knew it. I knew it. You never let me down, Nick. I appreciate you. How many of my good tidings does $2 buy? Do I just get to like you guys just get you guys get like a blessing or something like that for $2? So this is when Kieran wrote a whole thread denouncing me, and I didn't include it in here because I don't really care to. And then Carrie started retweeting Kieran. This is where Mike Harlow's calling me butch. Here's Carrie. This is the most vile libel Borisenko has ever lobbed at me, which is saying a lot, since she's accused me of every reprehensible thing she's done to me and many others. Yeah, okay, Carrie. Okay. Look, they had a stated goal of their little cancel horde of getting me to off myself. And then Carrie's running around going, You know those times when Carlin's having breakdowns on the internet and saying that she's thinking about offing herself? She's not really suicidal. Don't worry. This is the most fucked up thing of God. Hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh no, can I reach my cord? Can I reach the cord of the lamp? Come on, lamp, come on! Shit. Hang on one sec, I gotta turn my light back on, hang on. I'm back. I'm back, the light's back on. No, what happened is I hit my desk and it did something to the cord of the lamp. Yeah, that was weird. But this is thank you, Gayla. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate the supplication. So what I was saying and why I hit my desk is like I did a stream on the internet one time talking about like I was literally having a breakdown. I was having a breakdown because of all this bullshit. Even your lights don't want to deal with her. Ain't that the truth, Heather? I appreciate the supplication. And I'm just thinking about how literally fucked up it is that the harassment that I was enduring at the hands of these people, they had a whole I know I've said this a million times on this stream, but I just like I think I'm coming to like grips with the fact that I was actually right about this. They had a whole coordinated operation. They had multiple Telegram groups. They were having weekly meetings where they discussed me extensively. They were communicating all day, every day about me. They were watching every piece of content I made. They were looking at every tweet. Anytime I had a disagreement with anyone on Twitter, they would slide into their DMs and feed them this boat ton of lies about me to where a whole bunch of people thought I was crazy when I wasn't. And I'm just trying to do my work and I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing. And when all this is happening, I literally have to deal with this every single day. And it drove me to having a breakdown. I got really deeply depressed from it. I really did have suicidal thoughts. And the most fucked up thing is, it was their stated goal to have that result. And while they were achieving the stated goal that they had, which was to get me to have suicidal thoughts, they were literally out on Twitter saying, she's not really suicidal. She gets off on this. She's not really suicidal. She gets off on this. Don't worry about it. She's not. Can you actually imagine how fucked up these people are? Man. I genuinely and sincerely want to really thank everyone that was here with me through all of this and that stuck with me through all of this. And I really do. There were so many times throughout this when my community lifted me up, when kind words from the people who were supporting me lifted me up, when the Zoom calls lifted me up, when just comments on a live stream lifted me up, when I was really at just like my absolute lowest point. And you guys were the ones. I mean, obviously my husband was always here. Obviously I have friends, but it's like I was spending the most time in this space. And so I had so many people around me. I had so many people in my community that stuck with me through all of it and were there to lift me up when I needed it. And I just really want to thank you guys for being there for that, because I mean, I don't know, maybe if you hadn't been, and maybe if I had really felt all alone, and maybe if they had gotten their wish and everyone would have abandoned me, and maybe they would have actually been successful. Maybe they actually would have been successful. This is, like, overwhelming to think. I cannot even oh my god. I do whatever Carlin tells me to do. By the way, I'm really Carlin. We're all Carlin, apparently. Use this $5 to pay your electric bill. Thank you. I'm the one that's sadistic. This woman followed me on Instagram for a long time just to come into my comments every once in a while to, berate me. I finally just ended up blocking her, but oh, man. Look at this. You've gotten more collaborative and peaceful in your tweets in the past day. Did you get your message yesterday? And my response was "fuck off." W response. And then, of course, they use this against me. To make you laugh, Carrie, in all seriousness, you will never win against a narcissist. You and Mike waste time and energy in which she will take from both of you. Yeah, they should have just stopped. Let's see. Yes, but remember, according to Konstantin Kisin, I'm the person that starts fights on Twitter. Oh, Carrie was also on trigonometry. Do you really think that Carrie hasn't been in Konstantin Kissin's DMs? Do you really think she hasn't? Of course she has. Look at this. This is Dave Rubin replying to me, and Carrie out of nowhere, all Dave Rubin did was reply to me. Carrie out of nowhere says, I realize you're a busy person, and I assume you haven't seen her tweet storms where she attacks people and posts lies, smearing them as aligning with anti Semites and white supremacists, something SJWs do. Hi, Dick. So apparently tonight I had a meeting with someone in which I was given pretty explicit information, and I'd kind of received information about these people before, but I was given pretty explicit information about a group of people gang stalking me and harassing me and how they coordinated to harass me for years. So tonight I'm working out some feelings, okay? I used to have well, I still have they're still on they're doing it right now on Twitter. They're literally doing this right now. I've had for years these people who gang stalk me. And apparently what we're learning tonight is they had a whole coordinated operation with meetings and multiple Telegram groups where they were monitoring everything I was saying and doing. And their stated goal was to get me to off myself. And they reached out to all these influencers to include the quartering, to include James Lindsay, to include I know Tim Pool, like Lydia when she was on there, like all this stuff to spread lies about me and my mental health and to say I was an abusive narcissist. The reason that James Lindsay is calling me a narcissist on Twitter today is because of these people. That's basically what's happening. Look, I say I like Andy Kaufman. I tweeted, "What if I told you that I consider Twitter to be performance art and that I was a big Andy Kaufman fan? Would it make more sense?" Carrie says, "Why are you stalking and harassing and lying about people falsely and dangerously spearing them as white supremacists? A, it's performance art. B, you chose to do this in the spirit realm. No, you, all of the above." So apparently the fact that I like Andy Kaufman to Carrie was indicative that I'm a malignant narcissist or something. Here's my supplication. Sorry I'm late. I was away from the phone. LOL. Hi, Horde. Thank you. Jenny's getting inky with it. I appreciate it. I'm just literally reminding myself what happened. Oh, then Carrie wrote an essay about me. Carrie wrote a whole essay about me. Mike Harlow did a whole video about me. Look, here is the quartering amplifying Mike Harlow. Let's look at Carrie's essay. Let's remind ourselves what Carrie's essay said. This video by Mike Harlow, The Truth About Karlin Borisenko, is, as Poetry Painter says, a master class in how to spot a malignant narcissist. If you don't care about the drama, skip it. But it's not drama. It's a very real case study in how dangerous and abusive people are able to use, threaten, and bully and get away with it, trying to control others for so long. And it's a lesson in being ruled by fear. It's also very personal for me. She links to Mike Harlow's video. And then Carrie tells the story of how she had an abusive mother and provides no receipts on anything that I've done. There's no receipts in this entire essay. None. But the whole premise is Carrie had an abusive mother growing up, and I am Carrie's abusive mother. I'm not kidding. That's basically what she says in this essay. The proof that I am a malignant narcissist in the minds of Carrie Smith is that Carrie had an abusive mother and I am Carrie's abusive mother. And this got all these comments. Carrie says, I will not be approving of any Karlin's puppets on this essay. Not sorry about it either. With all due respect, you have no idea what you're talking about and how she is using you to hurt others. So you're all flying monkeys that I'm using to hurt others, sure. These are all the comments that she got on it. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for exposing Karlin. She's a con artist and a grifter and all these tweets responding. Carrie, you are so stunning and you are so brave and you are so beautiful, Carrie. And you're just amazing, Carrie. And you are an amazing writer, Carrie. They're elevating Kieran because now Kieran and Mike Harlow are best friends and talking about me all the time and obsessing about me all the time. And I took these screenshots when Kieran's account was private. Kieran's account is no longer private and he's spinning up nonsense all over the internet. But whatever, he's irrelevant and no one actually really cares. Hang on, let me just check Twitter. Someone just invited me to a community on Twitter that's happiness and good vibes only. Yeah, I'll join that community. Sure. Why not join that community? Why not join that community? Carrie elevating Kieran again. Kieran is starting to post private messages on Twitter, both real things that he took out of context and also things he had doctored to, like, he basically recreated them in this tool he has where you can basically recreate web pages and then you go in and you change words and they look exactly the same. And so there was a mix of the stuff that Kieran released that, like, some of it was real, but it was twisted out of context, and then other stuff was just like not real at all. And it was one of those things where they were lying about me so much and reposting these messages so much that, like, I had access to all the original messages, of course, but it was one of those things where, like, I couldn't keep up with it, so I just gave up, honestly. Carrie calling me the woman in misery. Kieran calling me, like, what is this? The mother, the borderline mother. This is Fatal Attraction. They're making memes about me because I'm not allowed to smoke weed on a libertarian event. Mike Harlow went on Adam Krigler's show and did a whole show about me and why I'm a horrible person. And Carrie says, listening now, great breakdown. I do disagree about one thing so far. Speaking against CRT does not mean one has good intent. Sociopaths and con artists have always used other people's beliefs and movements to chase fame, money, the power to manipulate others and hurt and more. So Carrie literally thinks that because I spend all day on the internet talking about leftists and woke culture, and, like, at this time CRT was my big thing and now I'm, like, into socialism. Carrie thinks that I'm grifting on the internet by watching socialism, essentially. Trying to make that claim, which was never true. Whether one believes me about the good doctor or not, though I think most people can finally see what she is now. They can see this in others who have bad intent. This is why the verse you shall know them by their fruits is so real. I take people in good faith. I did Carlin until I find they are of bad character. Well, Carrie, you shall know me by my fruits. I've written a book about fighting back against the woke left. I have 2 podcasts about fighting back against the woke left. I have an entire fucking Substack that is filled with articles and information, most of which are free, about fighting back against the woke left. I'm working on another book right now about the left, about the far left. I've gone undercover at multiple events. I've broken more stories in the past 2 years as an independent journalist covering the left than any other independent journalist in the goddamn country. I have a YouTube channel with thousands of hours of analysis of primary source socialist content. Carrie, what do you have? Deb, what do you have? Mikey, what do you have? Kieran, what do you have? What are your fruits? I think we should absolutely be judging people by their fruits. This is 2.5 years later. This is 2.5 years after I sent this tweet. Hey, no worries. I'm going to go to bed soon. Carrie doesn't have anything. Barely does a show once a week on her YouTube channel. No platform, no book, no nothing. A couple interviews on YouTube shows, like whatever, who really cares? Mike Harlow occasionally makes videos where he's dancing around without a shirt and seducing straight men at conservative events. Kieran has done absolutely nothing. Kieran kept trying to copy what I was doing, so every time I did something, Kieran would try to do the same thing, and it would always fail. Kieran has no YouTube channel, he has no show, he has no relevance at all, he barely even has anything going on publicly. Deb Philman makes more content than most of them, but her content sucks. We've watched Deb's content on this channel. Deb doesn't even know what she's talking about most of the time. But you do have to give credit that she does make more content than most of them. So, I'm just going to ask the chat, who do you guys think has produced the most in the past 2.5 years since Carrie sent this tweet and said, you shall know them by their fruits? Is it 1 for me producing the most, 2 for Carrie producing the most, 3 for Mikey producing the most, 4 for Deb producing the most, 5 for Kieran producing the most? If you had to judge someone by their fruits and what they produced, 1 for me, 2 for Carrie, 3 for Mikey, 4 for Deb, 5 for Kieran. But according to James Lindsay, I'm just a malignant narcissist because Deb Philman says so, because Carrie says so. By the way, I also produce more content than James Lindsay does. By like not an insignificant degree. I produce significantly more content than he does on a weekly basis. What else did they do? This is when they got the quartering to attack me because I was taking part in a protest at a school board meeting, so they got the quartering to attack me publicly. Kieran jumps into the replies again, posting private stuff. You know, I'm thinking about the fact that big tech is now following Kieran again, and like I gotta say, like he actually, you know, He actually, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, his behaviors over the last week have been a lot of the same kind of stuff that Kieran was doing. Oh, God, I hope I didn't trigger him too badly. Because I'm thinking about the fact that Kieran is autistic and he gets obsessive over things. Big Tech is also autistic. He also gets obsessed over things. If Big Tech ends up going psychotic, I'm gonna need you guys to help me, cause like, I can't do this shit again. I cannot go through all this shit again. Now, there's nothing that he can really do to me that they haven't already done to me, so I'm, like, not really that worried, cause it's like but what? What? What happened? Just spill it, offensive saint. What happened? We'll see, I guess. No! Your Twitter got suspended after I got reported for threatening to rape Offensive saint, I'm really sorry, bro. I'm really sorry. But I will say you went out with style, and I would never condone a threat like that. I would never condone that. That's a horrible thing. No one should do that. Don't ever, ever do that. It's not a joke. It's not something that's funny. But if you gotta go out in style. You'll be back, bro. When you start another Twitter account, you let me know what that is, okay? Make sure you tag me in it. F's in the chat for offensive saint. What else did she say? That was the end of chapter 5. Let's see. Oh, this is when Mike Harlow pretended to have cancer. They complained about that Hitler tweet forever. Oh, look, this is when I hated Nick. Oh God, I was wearing a stupid hat. Yeah, I was wearing a knitting. That hat's meant to be a joke. That hat is not meant to be taken seriously. But I did knit that hat. But it's meant to be a joke. It's not meant to be serious. This is back when I hated Nick. I think he's in his Kanye era here. And I think I was streaming Nick one night, and I was making fun of him or something, I think. And I think that I started talking about Mike Harlow on my channel, and the Groypers started saying that Mike Harlow was part of them, like Mike Harlow was with them. Look at this. Mike Harlow is a friend of the movement. Mike Harlow is a friend of the movement. Mike Harlow is a friend of the movement. Now, Mike Harlow has never really been associated with the Groypers, but I needed something to use against him, and so I did, okay? I'm not necessarily proud of that, but I am really glad that I am actually the one that ended up kind of Groyper adjacent and not Mike Harlow, because Mike Harlow is a loser. Exactly. You guys don't want him. He tries to fuck straight men. You guys keep Mike Harlow away. I'm serious. I went to he tries to fuck straight men all the time. Let's see. What did I say? Don Jackson was a toxic white identitarian. Oh, this is Kieran's denunciation letter. Oh, I do have a screenshot of this. Let's read Kieran's original denunciation letter of me. Over the past 20 This is after I sent the Hitler went to heaven tweet. Over the past yes, Mike Harlow is a Jew, just so we're clear. I mean, he says he's Jewish. I'm not spreading I'm just saying that he's Jewish. This is Kieran's original denunciation of me. Like he's issuing a fucking press release. After I sent the Hitler went to heaven tweet, over the past 24 hours, it has unavoidably come to my attention that Karlin Borisenko has posted on Twitter statements that have allegedly been viewed as anti Semitic and has connected them to the article we co wrote in an attempt to create a social media campaign. The weaponization is incompatible with the journalistic ethics I strive to uphold. Today, just last week, Kieran was talking about how he broke the news that was this article when, in fact, I did the whole fucking thing. And I gave him like a paragraph to write or something to make him feel like he was involved, but like he didn't really do anything with it. And now, like, to this day, I broke this news. He didn't break shit. It's on my platform, it's not on his. Back in mid 2020, I began my research. No, he didn't. That was all a lie. In June 2021, I stumbled across Carlin online after seeing her being attacked for pushing back again on the CRT's anti white claim. I walked her through all my research. No, he didn't. That's a lie. And we decided to co author a piece intending to inform people on how to recognize specific terms as red flags. There was no co authorship. I wrote the whole thing. My part of the article focused on language. Yes, his 2 paragraphs in the article. Yep. They focused on language to help recognize specific terms as red flags. My part of the article focused on language specifically, whereas Carlin focused on individuals. Yes, the entire article was about individual toxic white identitarians, none of which that were connected to the Groypers, by the way. I want to make that very clear. None of these people were connected to Nick Fuentes and the Groypers. They were no white guilt people. No white guilt people are toxic AF. Since then, generalizations have been made about those who use these terms, generalizations that are correct, the groups involved, and the characterizations of the original piece, which do not align with my research or the original tone we mutually agreed to take. Literally nothing that I said impacted any part of the article that Kieran wrote. Kieran wrote like 2 paragraphs in the entire thing. It's a long ass article, too. As a journalist, Kieran doesn't produce any journalism. He pretends to be a journalist, but he produces 0 journalism. He hasn't in years. As a journalist, I deeply understand the responsibility involved in uncovering sensitive topics such as these, and handling these stories in an ethical way is fundamental in the work I do. He doesn't produce any journalism. There is much we can learn by exploring difficult topics when viewed in an objective manner, void of the author's personal beliefs. However, it is our job to be a vessel for the information and allow the reader to draw their final conclusions. Therefore, I have decided to distance myself wholly from this article and the subsequent discussions around it, as they do not represent the message I intend to share as the facts that they are. So, nothing in this article changed. But Kieran saw an opportunity to write a fucking press release denouncing me publicly. And so then Carrie and Mikey amplify the whole fucking thing. Yeah, can someone point me to any journalism that Kieran has produced in the last 4 years? Like, truly and sincerely. I would just like one article that Kieran has produced. Just one. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. God, let me see what else is in this. Where does Mikey lie about having cancer? This is December 2021. No, Butch, let me tell you what we're not going to do. I am done watching you lie and smear good people. So, okay, yeah. He released his video. Where the fuck does he lie about having cancer? When did that happen? Tweeting this video all over the fucking place. Here's that's the stalker account. Ba-da-da-da-da. Tweeting this video all over the place. That video is the most successful video that Mike Harlow has ever created, ever. Look, he made all these clips of me, put them all over, fucking like 10,000 fucking views on this. He's posting Kieran all over the place. Yeah, Kieran's locals community became so successful that he abandoned it because he couldn't even get 10 people to sign up as a paying member. And by the way, yo, this is real. This is part of why I knew what happened to Nick, because it happened to me too. What was I just going to say? Oh, by the way, Kieran has lied to all of these people and has told them that he helps people grow YouTube channels and that he knows how to do marketing and branding and all this stuff. Kieran's YouTube channel has no one watching it. Kieran has a locals community that he couldn't even get 10 paying members to. I'm pretty sure Kieran's like main website that he puts out there, he has less than 20 people probably paying him any sort of membership. And I would actually be surprised if it was even that high. I think it would probably be around 10 people. But he's selling these services to all of these morons in this fucking organization that they've created just to harass me, where he's doing YouTube thumbnails for them and he's doing branding for them and he's doing all this stuff and he's advising them on what they should do and how they should present and all this stuff. He doesn't know any of this shit. Where did Mike Harlow lie about having cancer? He's replying to everyone tweeting about me with that video. This was the best meme ever. This was the best meme ever. Do I still have that witch meme? Please tell me I still have the witch meme. Please tell me I still have the witch meme. What's the chance that this is the witch meme? It is. Look at this. I've got a better version of this. Hang on. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to wrap up soon. Look at this witch meme someone made me. I was the Wicked Witch of the West, and I had my flying monkey, and I had my yarn. The best part about this meme was that there was yarn. Anyway. Maybe I should just wrap this up. Where the fuck did Mike Harlow talk about having cancer? You guys can't see what I see. Anyway, I guess that's all I'm really going to do tonight. I'm getting tired. It's almost 2:30 in the morning. But like, oh my God. It's one of those things, I guess, to wrap up. It's one of those things where like, I guess I'm not surprised. Thank you, Offensive Saint. It is really shocking to me to hear it. I always knew this stuff was true. I knew they were coordinating. I knew they were celebrating every single thing. I knew they were talking about me every day. I knew they must have channels to track everything I was saying and doing. I knew all of this stuff was true. I knew they were sliding into everyone's DMs. I knew they were threatening people. I knew all this stuff was true. But like, to have a conversation, to hear someone say it, and they're still doing it today. They're still probably doing it right now. Still probably doing it right now. Let's look at Carrie's Twitter account. Hang on. I don't actually want to look at Kieran's Twitter account. Maybe I should, but has he been interacting with big tech, I wonder? Have they exchanged DMs? Let me just see. That would be funny if they had. Oh god, I really hope he doesn't get sucked into this. And again, I say that for his sake. I don't say it for mine, but whatever, he's an adult. He did. He did. Kieran was replying to Big Tech. He did. Yeah, they are. All right. Good luck, bro. Good luck. For real. Good luck, bro. I'm just looking at Carrie's Twitter account real quick. I'll show you guys if there's anything interesting. Oh, yeah. Oh, Carrie. Ha ha. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Groypers, pay attention. Check this out. Groypers, pay attention. So earlier today, I tweeted out asking the Groypers to have an unholy alliance with me in order for us to all combat James Lindsay together. And James Lindsay is scared and retweeted it. And look who retweeted James Lindsay. So Groypers, I'm serious. We got to team up on this, okay? You hate James Lindsay. Nick hates James Lindsay. I hate James Lindsay. My audience hates James Lindsay. Yes. James Lindsay got Offensive Saint banned. Can you imagine? James Lindsay is now our mortal enemy. No mercy. No surrender. You will make another account. You will come back. Mortal fucking enemy. What Carrie have to say? Carrie is up his ass all the time. Oh, Billboard Chris is in their crew, by the way. They talked to him, like all these people. All of them. Frank is in their crew. I know that for sure. Frank turned into such an asshole, man. Really, truly, and sincerely. Yeah, I'm kind of like Mio's growing on me. I have to say, he is growing on me. Anyway, it looks like Carrie isn't losing her shit too much today, but I'm sure she will soon. Anyway, it's almost 2:30 in the morning. Listen, I want to thank everyone for being here, and I especially want to thank the people that were there for me through all of this, and I really, really appreciate you guys. And I know it seems a little cheesy, but like this really did fuck up my life rather severely. But I know that everything that we go through makes us stronger, and I think that the benefit of it that I saw is that, you know, I don't know if I could have achieved the things I've achieved if I wasn't isolated. I don't know if I could. I think I had to be isolated to achieve the things I did because I really had to keep my head down and I had to just really focus on stuff and I had to, you know, yeah, for 4 years. Well, really more like it was 3, so it was the end of so I guess 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So yeah, I mean for Carrie, this is coming up on 3.5 years of doing this shit, yeah. I guess the last thing I want to say is that, like, if this ever happens to you, if you ever end up on the receiving end of a gang stalking thing, well, this is why I like Nick. Well, one of the reasons I like Nick, he's also really funny. You and Nick are serious and not bought out. I respect you both for that struggle. Yeah, I mean, Nick Fuentes has had to deal with so much worse stuff than I have. Well, Carrie is married, but I saw you talking shit about me in big text chat, Josh Randall, and so we're not friends anymore. I mean, I hate to be that blunt about it, bro. You always seem like a nice guy, but you want to talk shit about me in his chat, like I can't. Nuh-uh, no. No. So I guess what I want to say to kind of like wrap this up is if you ever find yourself on the receiving end of like a gang stalking attempt, like I was obviously the target of, and just like the fact that their stated goal was to get me to And they almost won. They almost did. They really almost won. If this ever happens to you, I want you to know that this too will pass and it'll be okay, and that you have to focus on the people that love you and the people that support you, and know that you probably have more people on your team than you think you do. And a lot of time, people are scared to speak up, and people are afraid that if they speak up and support you, I heard from so many people for years. I saw what happened to you, Carlin, and I was afraid to speak up and support you because I was afraid they would turn on me. And like I said, like three different people have come and talked to me about this that were involved in this. And every one of them has said, like, I was afraid to speak up because I thought they'd target me. And I wish I could help you, Carlin, but I have to keep quiet because if I keep speaking up, they're gonna target me. And I was like, and every time someone said this to me, I was like, God damn, I wish I had that I wish I had that choice. Because to me it felt inescapable, because it was inescapable, because they were gang stalking me. There's nothing I could do. There was nothing I could say. My actions didn't matter. They literally convinced themselves that I was trying to hunt them physically, which was the most stupid thing that's ever had, like, just retarded. But because they convinced themselves that I was trying to hunt them physically, they felt it was okay to hunt me, to the point where they drove me to a goddamn breakdown and to thinking about offing myself. Because that was their goal. That was the goal. And they stopped at nothing. They lied, they stole, they defamed, they slandered, they did everything. They did everything they could think of. I still feel the impacts of what they did to me every single day. I feel the impacts of what they did to me in the people that I can never have working relationships with. I feel the impacts of what they did to me every day in my replies. I feel the impacts of what they did to me every single day when I get introduced to someone new or someone shares my work and all of a sudden they've got a DM in their inbox. And this happens all the time. Someone shares my work and all of a sudden they have a DM in their inbox saying, "Don't you dare do this. And if you dare do this, we'll cancel you." I swear to God, this really does happen. I'm not making this up. And now I know that for absolute certainty, and I've seen some of these messages before. I've like, 'cause so not everyone buys into it. Yeah, literally, James Lindsay literally did this to Not the Bee today, or I guess yesterday now because it's 2:30. James Lindsay literally did this in public today with Not the Bee. The world is a fucked up place, man. And there are a lot of people in it that are fucked up. But if you ever have something like this happen to you, know that you can get through it and it'll be okay. And you just have to focus on the people that love you and focus on what you're trying to do. And you can still build things and you can still do things and you can still have a lot of success. And at some point, karma will come back to bite them. Listen, 3 years ago, where Carrie and Mike Harlow and Kieran White and Deb Philman are at today is very different than where they were at years ago. And the person who was the most obsessed with me and the most emphatic that I had to was Kieran. And I always said to him, or I always tried to make the point to him, that he was going to destroy himself in this vendetta against me. And all you have to do is look at everything he's doing online today, or should I say not doing, because his following count has not grown at all. He produces no written content. He produces no journalism. He produces very, very few videos. He plays video games on the internet, streaming it to like 2 different people. He even when he does do live streams, basically no one watches. It's literally the same 3 or 4 people over and over and over again, and I don't watch all the time because I don't wanna be them, but, like, I have checked back every once in a while just to see if my prediction that he was gonna destroy his own career was gonna bear out because I like knowing when I'm right, and I was absolutely correct. This guy is making no money, he has no impact, he's producing no content, and he did this all to himself because of this. And I think that's probably the true of all of them. I think that probably all of them are not where they would like to be because they spent so much time on this and so much energy on this, and they no matter what successes they have, because everyone has successes now and again, they are never going to be able to be as successful as they could be because they will always have this dragging behind them, and they did it all to themselves. Now I have this dragging behind me too, but I've learned how to live with it at this point. And is it ideal? No, I would really like people they literally sabotaged this entire thing. They then this is one of the most fucked up parts, not just that they wanted me to off myself, but that they all claim to care about beating the left, they all claim to care about beating the woke, and they literally sabotaged, I'm sorry, some of the most effective information on the internet about the left and the woke, and they continue to do it every single time I get featured anywhere, every single time I have an interview anywhere, every single time I do anything, they show up, they leave these horrible comments. The people like this are why the left is winning and why the left will always win and why the left will perpetually win. And this is why the right must be destroyed, by the way. They became the thing they hate. Yep. This is why the right needs to be destroyed. This is why the right needs to be figuratively burnt down, because the right is filled with people just like this. And they are some of the more successful people on the right. They are running the multi-million-dollar organizations. What these people are doing, other people are doing too. And that's why anything I did always had to be a grassroots effort where I had to go outside of these social media things and I had to find people in different ways because the well was poisoned because of these people. And now many people are being misinformed because of these people. And they will never have a shot of achieving anything real because they don't have access to the right information. They have sabotaged so many things. And the end result of that will probably be that the left won't even be challenged. Not in any real way. Kerry never stopped being an SJW. Mike Harlow never stopped being a leftist. Deb Philman never stopped being an evil cunt. And Kieran White never stopped being a narcissistic psychopath. Those are my opinions, and I'm allowed to have those opinions. So thank you guys for spending some time with me. Thank you for listening to me. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. I'm going to go get some sleep now. I will see you at 5 p.m. where we will be watching some presentation from the CUNY schools about like LGBTQ something. I don't really remember, but I am getting sleepy, guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.